difference in the ball game was how we finished the second quarter. We were in as much foul trouble as we were at Florida State, but this time, between Whitsitt and Anna, they came in and stopped it, and some other kids made some plays. But that was a whole point of being able to rest Sierra and not play her into her third foul. It just wasn't her night tonight. But sometimes it's been her night the majority of the season. So we'll go back to work, but this was a kid that we wanted to challenge, and she challenged us, Natasha Mack. Very good player. So you had two Texas kids come in here, Gray and Mack, and they're very good ball players. But if I'm not mistaken, correct me, I think Gray had 9 points in the first quarter and didn't score in the second quarter, and I thought that was crucial. She missed some shots and we contested shots. The third quarter was all about transition. We tired them out. I kept telling them to run. Kennedy and Sham was forcing us to run with them, and Kayla was hitting some threes, and folks, we just ran out of gas. But when you're going against a good team that's already played Louisville and Oregon, they've seen teams as good or better than us. And so, but I think our kids responded. We almost played 40 minutes. Obviously, when you have a 26 or 28 point lead and you win by 12, give them credit on how they finished. They kept their head up. They knew they had to sit back and say there'll be another day, and I think that's why they stayed in the zone and didn't press us, because he's got a good ball club. But tonight we were at home, we responded, had a good ball game. Questions?
Well, Mac was hurting you a little bit inside one-on-one, but you guys go in that zone, they had a rough time in the threes. What about, was your defense because Johnson got in foul trouble?
We switched to zone because Anna is better in zone than trying to guard somebody. We were going to double Mac, which we did early, and she still scored. She kept getting deep on us, and we couldn't get, if Sierra would have hit maybe that first shot that she had under there, or we scored two and then she missed an easy shot, it would have given her confidence. But somebody's got to have an off night every now and then. Today it was Sierra.
What about your defense? I mean, they struggled.
Defense, Bob did a great job of switching to what we call 20 defense. That's a 2-3. We didn't have to do any of our trapping in it that we normally do, which is 25. Starkey did a good job of realizing where we were. And they were missing shots, and then we were gradually crawling back in. It wasn't a good shooting night for us. What'd we do? Shoot 36% and won. Got to understand, you say, well, Kennedy took so many shots, but look at how many great shots she hit. One of these days, she's going to have a 12 for 14 and another 9 out of 10 from the line. And that's how hard she is to guard sometimes. Everybody's got a different defense that they're trying to guard her with, but I thought she played a very good game. Yeah, she missed some shots, but she was pretty tired too.
What about Wells tonight, the compliment? They both hit big shots because we caught her off a little bit. What was why was Wells so good tonight?
I told Matt out there was interviewing me, Wells is a pretty good Scottie Pippen next to Jordan. And Scottie Pippen was Coach Bond's favorite player when you start looking. And sometimes you've got to have two people that work together so long. Remember, they've been teammates since the 4th or 5th grade. Those kids have known each other that long, and they just have a feeling where each other's going to be. Wells, when she strokes the ball and hits that three as well as she was just getting open looks and then creating. She's getting better and better, but remember, Wells always has to guard the other team's best player. And that sometimes that takes away from your offense, because usually Sham is too small to guard a 6-footer. And we've seen so many 2 to 3 players that are 6 foot tall. And I like Kennedy playing help defense. I want Wells on her. And it's making Wells more of a complete player instead of just a shooter. And every opportunity she gets to guard either a Dungy or this kid here, the kid at USC, it's going to make her a better player. She got a little tired at the end, but we were all getting tired because I was cracking the whip trying to get them to run on every possession. As a result, it worked because we tired them out, and that's why they couldn't guard us or hit their offensive shots, because of the pace of play that we were putting on them. Ladies, you have anything?
How did you prepare to play against Vivian Gray, knowing her potential and everything she's achieved this far?
She's a volume shooter just like Kennedy. And we have faced other players that are similar to her, and they've faced other players that are similar to Kennedy. And so sometimes on a volume shooter, you just have to keep a hand in the face. And if I'm not mistaken, she was 1 out of 6 from the 3. So we rushed her into some misses. But other than that, Gray's just a very good player. I recruited her out of high school. She's a very good player. Jim's basically got that whole team back, I think, next year. I think he loses a couple that are bench players, but he signed a local kid that we wanted very bad up there, the Collins kid, that her dad was a great player at Oklahoma State. Any questions? The SEC Big 12 Challenge, we haven't looked too good, so there was a whole lot of pressure. It was 1-5 going into this ball game. I thought LSU might be able to win at Oklahoma, but Oklahoma played great. The home court means so much in this series. But remember, we never have always our top 4 teams playing in it. Like South Carolina's not in it this year.
Arkansas won.
I'm sorry?
Arkansas won.
Arkansas won. And how about this? Their post player had 0 points. They got out-rebounded by 20, but they shoot the heck out of the 3 ball. Dungy had 32. And that's what the SEC is. Sometimes the stars have got to step up. But Carter overall played very well. Yeah, she missed some shots, but those are the shots we want her to take.